Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Denais and I'm a therapist and mindset coach based in Dallas, Texas. And today I wanted to shed some light on such an essential topic for this season. I think it's so important for us to chat about boundaries. This is essential so you can protect your mental and emotional well-being and to ensure that you're not overwhelmed in the holidays. With the holidays coming up, it brings so much stress and pressure to please everyone. And I know that can be very difficult with some of our families, some of our friends. I'm going to tell you a couple of steps to take in order to really feel like you have control over this holiday season. Number one is to establish the importance on boundaries. So we all know boundaries is the limits that we set on what we are willing and not willing to tolerate in order to protect our emotional and mental health. It's so important that we protect this and that we consider this when it comes to the holiday seasons. And one of the action steps that I recommend for my clients when we're thinking about boundaries is to take some time and reflect on the past holiday experiences and identify moments that you felt overwhelmed due to the stress. Maybe it was you overcommitted last season, maybe you just put yourself in a financial situation that wasn't healthy. I want you to use these insights to set clear priorities and boundaries for the upcoming holiday season. So here's the prompt. Like I said, reflect. Like, what happened last year? Did you enjoy it? What did you spend the most time during the holidays? Who would you have wished not to spend as much time on the holidays? What do you think you were expected to do during the holidays? I want you to take a piece of paper and just write down like all of these things that happened last season, because this is going to help you figure out what you need to do for this season. Once you're done with that, we're going to do our step 2, which is identify your priorities. The first step in setting boundaries is to identify your priorities. I want you to make a list of what truly matters to you during the holiday season, whether it is spending quality time with your family, participating in a meaningful tradition, or simply taking time for yourself. Knowing your priorities will help you set more effective boundaries. You can create a separate list, get like a notebook and just create a holiday priority list. And I want you to rank the activities or events that align most with what you value and your goals for this season. That's why step 1 is so important, to kind of reflect back on what happened last year. And I want you to refer to this list when making decisions about which invites to accept or decline, right? The biggest thing that I hear from clients on the holidays is like, I feel like I can't say no. I feel like I can't set these boundaries with people. And they don't ever take a minute to really list out what activities they truly want to do during this season. This list will help be like a blueprint for you, a guide for you in order to know when to say yes or no. Because when we don't have a form of reference to look to, we're just going to say yes to everything, right? Because there's no thought behind it, there's no intention behind it. We just feel forced and pressured to do so. So step 2 is to identify your priorities, like what is really important for you in this holiday season. Step number 3 is to learn how to communicate your boundaries. And we don't do this on the day of the holiday. We take some time before the holidays start, before Thanksgiving, before Christmas, before any other holiday that you celebrate during this season. We take the time to communicate our boundaries. We are open and honest with our loved ones about our limitations and expectations for this holiday season. You want to express your needs calmly and respectfully, and I know it can really be hard sometimes with some of our family members, but let them know why these boundaries are essential for you. Effective communication can help prevent misunderstandings, and it can help others respect your wishes. So the action item for this, the strategy for this, is to, before the holiday starts, right? Before it starts, right? If you're watching this video, this should be a week before Thanksgiving. Here in America. Before the holiday starts, I want you to consider having a conversation with close friends and family about your plans and your boundaries. looking at that priorities list, right? And I want you to use I statements to express your feelings and your needs. So an example would be, I need some alone time during the holidays to recharge, so I won't be able to attend every event. And again, then you have like a productive conversation about what you are attending, where you may not be as involved or want to participate, but just being mindful of this. And again, I know not every family member, friend is a safe space, so I do want you to keep that into consideration, but I think that we can go a long way when we use I statements. So trying to avoid use statements like, you always pressure me to do this on the holidays, you and so do this and it makes me uncomfortable, right? Like, we don't want to attack anybody during this season. We just want to stay like, hey, like I have considered, you know, staying back home for the holidays, and I won't be attending as much of the family gatherings, or we intend to only spend the morning. We intend to have our own family thing in the morning, and we can definitely catch up in the afternoon with the rest of the family. So starting to think about what you want to say and what are the specific things and limits that you want to set for the season. Step number 4 is to learn to say no. Saying no is one of the most powerful tools when setting boundaries, and understand that it is okay to decline invitations or requests if they conflict with your priorities and or overwhelm you. Remember, you don't have to attend every event or fulfill every expectation. You have to prioritize your well-being, and this might be hard for people who have constantly been people pleasers and maybe have family who really have high expectations for them during the holidays. But here's an example of what I would say, what I would use to decline an invitation in a respectful way for both myself and the person. So something else that I'm going to do is I'm also going to add other templates down below for you to download, because I know it's not easy to say no, and it's often hard when it comes to friends and family, like the people that are close to us. So here's what I would say if I wanted to say no politely to someone, and this is what I would think. This is the action for you, being able to say no, already identifying your no's. So what I would say, for example, be, thank you for inviting me, but I have already made plans for that day. I hope you have a wonderful time. You know, so I am grateful for the invitation, but I have to decline. I don't put filler words. I don't want you to add any filler language like, I'm so sorry, like I am such a bad friend, like I know that you were counting on me. Like, don't add all of that filler words that is only going to detract from your actual message and make you feel bad at the end of it. You're going to feel super guilty about saying that no. And I think it's okay to say no to some of these things, right? So, and guilt might happen because maybe we haven't practiced this in a while, and it is okay. Guilt is an emotion, and it will pass. It may not feel comfortable, but we have to practice in putting ourselves in these uncomfortable situations, because overall it's going to protect our boundaries. Step number 5 is to be flexible and compromise. That means while our boundaries are essential, it's also important to be flexible and be open to compromising. Sometimes unexpected situations happen, or the compromises just have to arise, and that's okay. You have to be willing to adjust your boundaries, but make sure that you don't compromise your peace and your mental health. So an action for this would be to be open to finding alternatives, to be open to finding alternative ways to participate in events that align with your boundaries. If you can't attend a full day gathering, offer to stop by a couple of hours to show your support and spend more time with your loved ones, right? So think about those things. Like, what are alternative things where you may not have capacity? Maybe there is a family event where you're like, every time I go to that family event, I end up feeling like shit, and it's like 5-6 hours being at that person's house. Maybe this time we're going to be like, you know what? I only have 2 hours. I have other commitments, and so I'm going to stay for 2 hours and like hang out, because maybe you know that that's your limit. You know that after 2 hours, you're good. You've spent time. You've had conversations. So think about that. What are alternative ways? Now, with this being in mind, we can't think about what other people are going to feel in these situations, because we don't control what other people feel. We only control our actions and our reactions, and that is very important. We have to believe that other people can tolerate their own emotions and they are responsible for their own emotions. So keep that in mind. A no heart concept, but these are just some insights that you need to be aware of and that hopefully you can practice to be flexible and compromise during these holiday season. Step number 6 that I recommend is to limit technology and social media. During the holidays, it's so easy to get sucked into the world of social media and constant technology use. So I want you to consider setting boundaries around your screen time. When we have this excessive exposure to digital media, it can increase stress. It can actually detract us from the genuine holiday experience. So I want you to take your time to be present with your loved ones and enjoy the moment. So the action step for this would be set specific time limits on your phone or your other like electronic devices during the holiday gatherings. Design certain hours to be technology free, like allowing yourself and others to connect more deeply and more present in the moment. Whenever I'm in a holiday gathering, I will probably put my phone in my purse or turn off my phone or put do not disturb so I could really be present with my family. I have autoresponders for like my business stuff or like for work, so they know that I won't be available during that time when I'm going to be with family. And I also just limit my exposure during the time to like TikTok and things like that because I'm more receptive to feel like FOMO or to feel also that I have to buy something that I don't necessarily need or plan to buy. So it could be very stressful during the holidays when we're bombarded with a lot of messages and like gift ideas and things like that. And that's nice if you're generally needing to get that information because maybe you need advice on what to get your mom or what to get your sister. But if it's not something that you are like, maybe you're not in a great financial situation and you're trying to minimize spending this season, then limit the amount of interactions with technology. Even unsubscribing to email lists is another action item that I would have you take so that you're feeling a lot more in control. Now, step number 7 is to give yourself permission to rest. It's essential to give yourself time to rest because, again, during the holidays, you may be around people that you don't always get to be around with, but they're emotional vampires or they're just a lot to handle. Maybe you don't have the same belief system. So it could get very touchy during the holidays. So it's important that we take breaks during the holidays, even again, giving yourself a break in between from gathering to gathering. Sometimes the pressure to be constantly active can lead to burnout, like constantly feeling the pressure to be on and do every holiday event. Remember, it's okay to take time for yourself, whether it's to read a book, to meditate, or simply relax. Self-care is essential. So the action item that I would put here is to schedule regular breaks in your holiday calendar for moments of rest and relaxation. Block out time for activities that recharge you, such as going for a walk, meditating, or spending time with a like favorite holiday hobby or something. So I highly recommend that we schedule our rest time during the holidays, especially if like you're going to be on vacation or whatever. Schedule some rest time in between there. It doesn't always have to be go. And then lastly, one of my favorite things, my favorite steps is to practice gratitude. There's a lot of hustle and bustle during the holidays, so don't forget to practice gratitude. Take a moment each day to reflect on the things you're thankful for. Gratitude can shift your perspective so much. It can help you focus on the positive aspects of the season and making it even more enjoyable and filling. So the action item here is to keep a gratitude journal during the holiday season. Each day, write down a few things that you're grateful for, whether it's the small moments of joy or acts of kindness or the memories that you're experiencing with your loved ones. Like, just take a moment to soak it all in, right? I feel like the holiday season is like, it can be stressful, but then it also goes really fast. So keep in mind that not everything has to be chaotic and chaos, and there are moments of joy that you can find during this holiday season, and let's remember those as well. Let's put some effort into those instead of just putting a lot of effort on the stress. I hope that these tangible tips help you with setting boundaries this season. I hope that it allows you to create more meaningful and just a peaceful experience during the holidays. Remember, it's not about pleasing everyone. We can't please everyone. It's about cherishing what truly matters. So really focus on what you're prioritizing this season. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to the channel. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you guys in my next video.